That's one thing too. I think that's a great story, by the way. I love that story.
Good looks, good looks. And then,
Uh,
Easy finished the record and it came out and blah blah blah. But me and Preem had a side conversation with fucking
yeah.
DXT that was crazy.
Well, that's the age-old expression. Those that can't remember the past are doomed to repeat it.
Hmm.
And I'm not trying to shit on the younger generation. People shit on them too much, but I think if if we can figure things out in life, that they will take care of the future. This younger generation is super smart. But I think a lot of what's missed with this younger generation is interacting with the older generation and having conversations about history and learning what they went through. Because I mean, look, we're probably, if we're not in a depression, we're going to be in a depression soon. Shit's still shut down.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
we got a
This is the
$1,200 check
beginning stage.
for 5 months.
Stages for
You know what
sure.
I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah. So, and I don't think most people were around in the last depression, so we're probably going to miss that. But
definitely
you
not.
know,
And anytime one was about to happen, the government bailed it out. You know what I mean? Like we
yeah,
were supposed to have one in the Bush Junior fucking years, but you know,
yeah, yeah.
the gov gave them motherfuckers mad bread.
And my dad was born in 1940, and he tells me some stories about his dad who lived through the depression. My
Hmm.
dad still scrapes the peanut butter out of the jar, and you know what I mean, because when he grew up, he didn't that's
Yeah,
what
you didn't. There was
that's
no
what they were
wasteful
supposed to.
shit. There was
Yeah, yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
waste.
you know so even
I
though he
feel
did
you.
all right.
Sometimes with the generations shit, like sometimes it's the old heads too that like they don't wanna open the mind up to the new shit. They're just stuck on their old shit and like they learned all that like not wrong information, but they didn't have all the information.
No,
Like
it's true.
now, where like now you have too much information. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? So like I was having that conversation the other day with an older person like about like the origins of like what we are, as like Caribbean people and shit like that, and it just was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, bro, what? How do you not know this? You're like way older than me. It's like fucking facts.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, yo, they don't know. They never were taught that real shit. They just know what they know, and they got by that way. And then, a lot of them just went off to like work to create life for their kids and things like that. They never really boned up on shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of, when the Department of Education was created, it was essentially created to, I don't know if indoctrinate is the word, that's certainly the word now, but it was basically to get kids ready for work, because it was the early 1900s and we had war and we needed people to work in factories and we needed people to
Yep.
build things, and so everybody went to school to be conditioned on how to learn and how to do this assembly line, and now where we don't have all those trades and labor and everything else, the school system's still the same, teaching us shit that, I mean, how many times in your life do you go, man, I wish I was taught that in school? You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah, crazy mad
you know,
shit.
yeah,
Yo, what's wild is my daughter was probably like 11 at the time, and she came home from school and she was like, yeah, I know like 90% of the stuff they teach in here, like I'm not gonna use. I'm like, yo, how you know that at 10? That's crazy. I didn't know that
yeah,
shit till I was 20 or some shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That shit is crazy, bro. But they know they're hip. That's why you can't get nothing past them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
yeah, yeah.
skeptical. They're skeptical of everything. You know. So like, it's weird. It's like, I feel like if you're not informed now, it's because you're lazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I attribute it to that more than like being more hard headed, like the like you were saying earlier about the older generation with the new guys.
Yeah, yeah. So my dad, he's born in 1940. He's going to be 80 in 2 months. And,
Hmm.
I've been reading a lot about gold and silver and in times of depression and when we're printing money like crazy,
Hmm.
we can create $3 trillion, but we can't fix a school or get health care, or, we get a $1,200 check. That's about it. But
CEOs can steal money like 300 million
yeah,
and
yeah.
be out.
And so I said to my pops, I said, did you know in 1932 they made you turn in all your gold? He said, well, I never heard of that. I said, did you know that from 1932 to 1971 it was illegal to own gold in the U.S.? So I didn't know that. I said, well, you were 31 years old when it happened. So when they legalized it again, or it might have been 72, but I said, so, you could own jewelry, but any bars or coins or anything like that, they made you turn it in. They gave you $26, $20. They gave you $20 an ounce, and then a few months later they raised the price to $35 an ounce. When nobody, they went into banks, confiscated safety deposit box. They called the mints and the exchanges and said, who did you sell to? They made people rat on their neighbors. And
That's crazy.
And he didn't know any of this. And then he's looking at me like, where'd you read this? I said, listen, I can show you the book. I can, you know what I mean? I can look it up on the internet.
Shit. They're like, don't believe it. They're like, don't believe the information. I'm like, bro, how you not believing the real shit?
But he'll believe if his older buddy said it that he has coffee with,
Fact.
And
if the idiot box says it and they're sitting right there,
yeah,
they'll believe it way more than the information that you got right on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where shit is fucked up. Because that's a divide. That's a huge divide. People because think about it, the phone, the real phone that we're using right now, how old is that? Like 8 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
Anybody older than that, they're just not hip.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the new TV. Everyone's stuck on the phone. Most people watch TV on the phone now, news on the phone.
Oh yeah, I do mad shit on the phone. I send emails, check my bank shit, all types of shit. Obviously, promote myself, listen to music. Like that's the tool,
So one of the things I'm interested in.
I use it more than my laptop, which is wild,
Yeah, yeah. And that thing was twice as much as the phone.
Yep.
And could do half as much.
Facts. I still got an older one with a CD drive.
Yeah, yeah. I got a cracked version of Photoshop on an old ass Mac that I keep, but
yeah, me too.
It takes 2 hours
I gotta
to turn
have the
on.
CD drive, man. I gotta have the CD drive.
Yeah.
Shit is crazy. They're trying to get rid of everything. And then it's weird because that's the stuff that re-blows up.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's into vinyl and tapes now. When Techniques discontinued the 1200 and none of the cars come with a tape player.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, what? This shit is backwards, man. They're really just doing it. They're getting rid of shit just to cut costs, really.
Yeah, yeah. Always.
That's all money. That's all it's about.
Always money. So, perfect segue. We're talking digital transfers. And all the artists that you're around, is there any talk at all about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin?
Yeah, a while ago there was, and then some of the heads invested in it, you know what I mean? But I just never was it wasn't really explained to me the correct way, and I didn't really read up too good on it to have an opinion on it to be able to invest.
Yeah.
But definitely a couple heads definitely either are still invested or definitely did invest.
Yeah, it's through my quarantine, I've been into Bitcoin for a few years, but especially now that our money used to be backed by gold, right? You used to get a certificate that if it was $100, you could go in the bank and they'd give you $100 back.
Oh yeah, for sure. When it was silver note.
Yep, you had a silver note. And then in 1972, that's when they got rid of that. And that's when you were able to buy gold and silver again. But the dollar was no longer backed by it because then they could create millions and billions and trillions, as we see. And what that really does is it decreases the amount that we can purchase with that dollar, even though it's the same dollar. If you went back in 1980, you go to the grocery store with $10, you get a gallon of milk, box of cereal, peanut butter, jelly, a loaf of bread. Now you go there, you get a box of cereal and a gallon of milk, but it's the same. It's the same dollar. And the thing with cryptocurrency, mostly Bitcoin, because there's a million other cryptocurrencies, but there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and there's 18 million right now. And they release so many every day onto the market, and that's how they regulate the amount of currency that there will ever be for Bitcoin. Now there's a thousand other cryptocurrencies, but no one. There's other ones. I'm actually invested in one that's, because Bitcoin, you can go look and see where it came from and where it's going, and they will find a way to regulate it. But there's another one where it's like, when they say the dark web and people were buying like heroin and all kinds of child trafficking and shit, they were using this one called Monero because it's completely untraceable. But just like, they always try and shit on Bitcoin and say, oh, it's like a Swiss bank account and drug dealers use it. You know what? Drug dealers use cash. Drug dealers use banks. How many HSBC and Deutsche Bank now laundering money for drug dealers? So, but the one thing I see with cryptocurrency, and again, I just know a little bit. I'm no expert, but I mean, everything banking is pretty much on the phone now anyway.
Yep.
And I think as they continue to print more money and people feel less comfortable holding dollars. I mean, anybody with money in a bank account, it's just losing money every day, because the more they inflate, you can purchase less with it. So, and then they keep lowering interest rates, which means you earn less on the money that is in the bank. But someone like yourself that's been around as many artists as you have, I was just curious to see if there's much talk about it, because the news scares you into it and they try to confuse it because they don't want people in it. But I do think in the future there'll be some form of digital cryptocurrency that will be adopted.
There's gonna be whatever they come up with, and then like one huge competitor like Bitcoin or whatever. Maybe those other ones fold into Bitcoin, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it'll be like that, and it'll be all digital, yo, because it's already there.
Yeah. And it's concerning to see, places not taking cash anymore. It's dirty cash, and it's almost the perfect way for them to eliminate it. Is it's dirty, and they don't want businesses touching it or people dealing with it.
Yeah, but especially with the Rona now.
Oh yeah. But by all means, touch this same keypad that everyone else touched, and you know what I mean. So
swipe right here, insert right here.
Yeah. So the Graham's telling us we got 90 seconds left. So before they cut us off, appreciate you coming on today. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at and what you got going on?
Up, man. At Deadeye ST on everything. IG and Twitter mostly. I got the Last Batch EP out now. It's on my Bandcamp and everywhere else where you can stream music. I got the new Artisan album that I'm executive producing called Cinematic. I got Runt Dog's new album. He's down with Redman and Gilla House. I'm executive producing that. That'll be out in September. And then I got my new album, Intervention, which will be out in September as well.
That's what's up.
And then I got 50 Body 6 with Term and Static dropping in August. And I'm doing a mixtape probably with my people's 24/7 HH. That's the website out of Chicago. And then I'm doing one, I think, with Big Shug and Primo. We'll see.
No doubt. That's what's up.
Staying busy, man. Hit up the Bandcamp and hit up the IG for the merch.
Yeah, go get that merch. Last Batch. All those mixtapes. Appreciate you coming on. Some great stories. Appreciate the time. Brother. And maybe we'll catch up with you again soon when everything's back and some shows are going.
Yeah, word up, man. Definitely. Let's link again, man. Let's do some more shit. Maybe.